The galaxy was vast, a swirl of countless stars and countless civilizations, each believing itself cleverer than the next. Among them, the Council of Nine prided itself on wisdom, diplomacy, and power. They had overseen trillions of lives across 1,000 systems, mediating conflicts, dictating trade, and on rare occasions authorizing wars. When the Council convened to discuss the latest threat, a planet of humans, no one expected the results. The humans, a young species with a planet that glowed blue from space, had remained largely ignored for centuries. They were primitive compared to the advanced civilizations that shared the stars. Their weapons were small, their ships slow, and their technology, while developing rapidly, was considered inconsequential. Yet curiosity and a desire for dominance pushed the Council to act. "We must address this planet," intoned Leora, a diplomat from the aquatic world of Thalara. Her voice rippled like waves. "They are expanding too quickly. They have begun probing nearby systems. It is only a matter of time before they challenge us." Her words were met with murmurs of agreement and concern. Others in the Council were less certain. "Are we certain this is necessary?" asked Vec, the crystalline emissary of Onyx Prime. His facets shimmered, reflecting the Council chamber's lights. "Their presence has been noted, yes, but they have not attacked anyone. Is preemptive war wise?" "Preemptive war is the only language some species understand," Leora replied firmly. "We cannot allow a species that doubles its knowledge every decade to reach full capability. Once they are ready, it may be too late." The Council debated late into the galactic cycle, weighing intelligence reports, political consequences, and hypothetical scenarios. Finally, they reached a decision. A message was drafted, formal and cold. A declaration of war. The humans had been ordered to surrender, submit to taxation, and relinquish all new technologies for the benefit of the galaxy. Any resistance would be met with extermination. On Earth, the message arrived with the soft hum of an interstellar communicator. Captain Elias Trent of the United Earth Defense Council read the message aloud in the central command room. He was a man of moderate height, brown hair streaked with gray, eyes sharp and calculating. Around him, officers paused, listening in disbelief. "Submit?" Trent said, his voice calm but edged with amusement. "They don't know who they're dealing with." The room remained silent. They had all heard warnings, yes, but no one had taken them seriously. Now, with an official declaration of war, the reality sank in. Major Lena Ortiz, chief strategist, spoke up. "Sir, we are outnumbered. Their fleets dwarf ours. Their weapons are thousands of cycles ahead." Trent smiled faintly. "True, Major. But the Council forgot one key detail. Humans adapt. They innovate. They fight differently. And so humanity began its preparation not for negotiation, not for surrender, but for a response that would shock the galaxy. The first fleets of the Council began arriving in orbit around Earth's solar system. Ships as large as small moons appeared, their weapons glinting like shards of dark light. Council drones swarmed the outer planets, probing defenses, scanning for weaknesses, but Earth was ready. Not fully, not yet, but ready enough to demonstrate a truth the galaxy would soon learn. Humans were not to be underestimated. The first engagement occurred near the asteroid belt. Council scouts approached in formations designed to intimidate, expecting resistance to collapse quickly. Instead, they encountered a series of small, fast-moving craft that emerged from nowhere. The humans did not strike with brute force. They struck with precision, strategy, and unpredictability. Ships disappeared in bursts of light, reappearing behind enemy lines, disabling engines and sabotaging communications. The Council's drones, though technologically superior, were overwhelmed by the humans' ingenuity. By the time the main fleets arrived, the humans had prepared traps. The asteroid belt had been mined with devices that emitted electromagnetic pulses, disabling shields and engines alike. The largest cruiser of the Thalaran fleet lost propulsion entirely, drifting helplessly before being carefully dismantled by human boarding teams. Within weeks, news of human resilience spread across the galaxy. Emissaries from distant systems warned the Council. "This species, it is unlike any we have encountered. Their tenacity is astonishing." The Council convened again, this time in panic. Leora's voice trembled for the first time. "How is it possible? We underestimated them. They should have fallen." "They underestimated themselves," said Vec quietly, his crystalline form flickering with anxiety. They believed victory was assured because of our technology. They assumed humans would bow. They were wrong. Humanity, meanwhile, continued to innovate at an alarming rate. They reverse-engineered captured council technology, developing new weapons, faster drives, and advanced communication systems. Entire fleets were rebuilt in months, ready to strike with deadly precision. When the humans launched their first counteroffensive beyond the solar system, it was not just a military maneuver, it was a statement. A small strike team approached the Council's distant trade hub, a station considered untouchable. In hours, the station's communications were down, its defenses neutralized, and key leaders detained by humans. The galaxy reeled. No one had ever seen such efficiency combined with ruthlessness. The Council realized with horror that they had miscalculated in the most fundamental way. They had declared war on a species that thrived under pressure, that learned from every failure, and that refused to surrender. Council systems began experiencing disruptions. Trade routes collapsed as humans targeted supply chains. Planetary defenses, once considered impenetrable, were circumvented. Entire fleets vanished without a trace. Some speculated humans had developed cloaking methods beyond imagination. Others whispered about strange tactics that seemed almost supernatural in their effectiveness. Trent watched all of this unfold from Earth's orbit, surrounded by his top advisors. "They expected us to be afraid," he said. "They expected us to bow. Instead, we fight, we adapt, and we win." Ortiz nodded. "Sir, their response is chaos. Entire sectors are refusing to continue the fight. Their soldiers are deserting fleets. Planets are surrendering without orders." "Yes," Trent said, leaning back in his chair. "It seems the galaxy has underestimated the human spirit. They thought technology and numbers alone would secure victory. They forgot one thing. Humans are relentless." As months passed, the war escalated, but never in the ways the Council anticipated. Humans avoided unnecessary bloodshed unless provoked, targeting infrastructure and supply lines, striking in unexpected locations. Their strategies were studied, dissected, and copied by other species attempting to mimic them, yet none succeeded. The final blow came when the Council attempted to consolidate their remaining forces for a decisive strike against Earth itself. A massive fleet, more powerful than any the galaxy had ever seen, advanced toward the Sol system. Humanity responded not with fear, not with surrender, but with calculated brilliance. Entire fleets appeared from hyperdrive corridors surrounding the Council armada. Advanced mines disabled engines while precision strikes neutralized weapons. Boarding teams captured command ships, and once again, leaders found themselves face to face with humans. Trent addressed the captured Council representatives, his tone calm but firm. "You declared war on us," he said, "assuming we would falter. You assumed we would submit. You were wrong. This species does not surrender. This species does not stop. And this species will survive." The message spread quickly across the galaxy. Humanity had not only defended its home, but demonstrated a simple truth. Intelligence, creativity, and determination could overcome any advantage, no matter how great. In the aftermath, many species reevaluated their policies toward humans. Trade negotiations reopened under cautious terms. Alliances were reconsidered. The Council of Nine, once revered, had been humbled, their authority shaken. And on Earth, life returned to a semblance of normalcy, though nothing would ever be the same. Cities had expanded, fleets had grown, and humanity's reputation had been cemented among the stars. Captain Trent walked along a viewing platform, gazing at the stars. "They thought they were conquering a planet," he said quietly. "But they woke something far stronger. They woke humanity." Ortiz stood beside him. "And now the galaxy knows exactly what that means. For the humans, victory was not the end. It was a beginning, a promise that no matter the threat, no matter the enemy, they would endure. They were not just survivors. They were the most deadly species in the galaxy, and they had only just begun to prove it. The Council never made the same mistake again. Every species that had laughed at Earth, every fleet that had dismissed human capabilities, remembered the lesson. Do not declare war on a species that refuses to yield. And for humanity, the stars were no longer distant and cold. They were a challenge, an opportunity, and a testament to the indomitable will of a species that would never bow. The galaxy would speak of humans for cycles to come, not as mere inhabitants of a small blue planet, but as a force of nature relentless, unpredictable, and utterly unstoppable. Congratulations, the galaxy had learned the hard way.